Bert Blewett's Boxing Update.
In this edition of Boxing Update, we find out who trains the trainers. Discover that the left hook is the most effective punch in boxing today. And recall the drama of South Africa's first mixed boxing match.
Hello and welcome to the show. We all know that trainers train boxers, but who trains the trainers? The question is up for asking because of the decline in the standard of South African trainers and because of concern for the future of the sport in this country. Like the army generals of old, most boxing trainers are behind the times with many of their methods. Change is accepted grudgingly and new techniques are regarded with the greatest suspicion. And yet, trainers have always fancied themselves as being in the forefront of the fight game, and in the early days of the sport, often called themselves professors of pugilism. Some of the old-time fighters, like John Jackson, included the nobility among their patrons, and when Jackson opened a boxing academy in Bond Street, London, in 1814, it soon became the centre of the sporting fraternity. But for the most part, boxing gyms are basically primitive, with few of the frills of a health club. Some, like the Thomas & Becket in London and the old Stillman's Gym in New York, have become part of boxing history. Situated in old tenement buildings, they serve their purpose as workhouses of sweat, and many a great champion passed through their doors. Stillman's, of course, is no longer in existence, and in any event, many of the best boxing gyms today are found not in the West, but in the East. The Japanese in particular have gone out of their way to provide the most modern facilities for their boxers in settings like the 4-Round Club in Tokyo. The spin-off for the sport has been the introduction of high-tech training, with physical conditioners often taking over control of the fighters. But if you think this is a new trend, think again. As long ago as 1889, a bloated John L. Sullivan engaged the services of William Muldoon, a leading physical culturist of the time, to prepare him for his bare-knuckled heavyweight fight with Jake Kilrain. On the other hand, great trainers and great fighters often go hand in glove. Joe Louis, the legendary brown bomber, credited most of his success in the ring to his trainer Jack Blackburn, who had been a fairly good fighter himself in his day. And when little Charlie Goldman first saw Rocky Marciano, the value of a top-class trainer or cornerman should never be underrated. Depending on their skills, a corner can often win a fight for their charge. They can also lose it, and never was this more evident than on the night Simon Skusano went down to defeat against Bernardo Panango at the Rand Stadium. Weakened by loss of blood from a cut his corner was unable to close, Skusano was knocked out in the 15th round.
En hierdie geveg gaan waarskynlik in hierdie laaste ronde beslis word dan. Dis die 15de en laaste ronde en al ons kykers hier daar by die huis. Ek dink jy moet saam met ons trots voel op 'n Suid-Afrikaanse bokser wat vanaand vir hom groot naam maak.
Dit is net jammer dat Skusano se hoek nie daar die bloed kan stol nie, Andries, want dit moet hom geweldig pla.
En hulle gaan aanveg, ja. En dit was miskien 'n welkome ruskans hier vir Simon Skusano, maar nou is dit Panango wat baie blitsig op die aanval is. En Skusano word met alles raak geslaan. Ek dink dit is verby. In die laaste ronde is dit Bernardo Panango wat vir Suid-Afrika se Simon Skusano uitslaan.
And if Gerrie Coetzee's corner had been more alert in his world title fight against Greg Page at Sun City, the chances are Coetzee could have retained his world heavyweight title, instead of being knocked out long after the bell should have ended round 8. Punch rate is picking up. Oh, good right hand from Page, and Coetzee's legs buckled a little. I think he's in trouble. Hey, down!
That was a left hook that has put Teddy Coetzee right on his back. And I don't know whether the South African is going to be getting up. They're taking out his gum guard. It's all over. Teddy Coetzee is out. Teddy Coetzee has lost this world title fight. And Greg Page is the new WBA champion.
There's a replay. Right hand to the head. Shook Coetzee. As Coetzee tries to back away, Page follows. Left hook. Right cross. Left hook. Another right. Coetzee's beginning to go down. It was a left hook, the final punch that put him on his back. Flat out for the count. Here's some more. Left hook from Coetzee. Page throwing the punches. Time. The knockout was 3 3 minutes 50 seconds. According to our time, the knockout came in 3 minutes 50 seconds. The round's only supposed to be three minutes. That's bound to bring a lot of controversy into this fight. There are few sharper minds in boxing than Angela Dundee, and this great American trainer has saved fighters on more than one occasion from the corner. A classic case was the first fight between Cassius Clay and Henry Cooper in 1963. After Cooper dropped Clay in the 4th round, it was discovered that Clay's glove was split and minutes passed before a replacement could be found, giving the young American valuable time in which to recover from the effects of the blow.
Tommy Little has gone to Clay's corner now to talk to them. And I think Clay has got a torn glove.
Discipline, or the lack of it, is yet another factor in the success or failure of a fighter. Peter Matabulu's foolish decision to have a hearty meal the night before he defended his world flyweight title against Santos Lassia went a long way towards contributing to his defeat. Not only was Matabulu ill-prepared, both mentally and physically, but drastic weight reducing left him weak and drawn for the fight of his life.
Ja, hierdie keer het hy van blote vermoeienis gaan sit. Kan dit die einde van die geveg wees? Sal hy opstaan? 7, 8, 9. En hy hou nog aan die tou vas. Die skeieregter gesels. Hy sê nee, hy word op sy voete uitgetel. Die geveg is verby.
Scotty Moran, one of South Africa's most respected cornermen, recently suggested that boxing board officials check the equipment cornermen take with them to the ring. And after watching a cornerman use air bellows to fan his fighter between rounds, we believe this suggestion has much merit. Clearly, there is also a need for more training clinics, similar to those conducted by the boxing boards in the past. And the more trainers who share their knowledge, the better it will be. Ask a dozen experts to name the most effective punch in boxing today, and the chances are you'll get 12 different answers. And this, despite the fact there are fewer than 6 basic blows. Mind you, there are countless variations, and down the years, these have been given all kinds of exotic names, including the solar plexus punch, the corkscrew punch, the rabbit punch, and the pivot blow. But the most effective punch in boxing today is arguably the left hook, and here's why. "15 years ago this month, a fight took place at the Rand Stadium in Johannesburg that was destined to change the face of South African boxing. In the first racially mixed match held in this country, under official control, Bob Foster defended his world light heavyweight title against Pierre Fourie. The men had fought in Albuquerque 3 months before, but the rematch required SA cabinet approval and an amendment to the Boxing Control Act. Despite dire predictions that the mixed fight would trigger riots in the townships and unrest in the cities, nothing happened. Nothing, that is, except tremendous warmth for Foster as a great champion and admiration for Fourie for fighting his heart out. As a result of the tremendous goodwill generated by this contest, other concessions soon followed. Until today, South African boxing is free of all racial restrictions.
Round number 1.
And the gong sounds the start of this history-making boxing match. Not only a world title fight, but the first confrontation between a black man and a white man in a professional sporting event in South Africa. And, I believe, also 2 possible world records yet to be confirmed for live attendance and gate takings. And there goes Fourie into the attack, hustling Foster onto the ropes. Fourie ducking, weaving from side to side, looking for that opening. Already it's apparent that this is a very different Fourie from the Fourie at Albuquerque. Fourie looking rather weary, rather battered. Round 15, the final round, and back onto the attack comes Bobby Foster. Immediately onto the attack. Any of the pre-fight rumours that the champion was slowing down have certainly been scotched tonight. It's the final round, and he certainly doesn't look a tired old man. Foster keeping up the attack, but although he's hurting Fourie, it doesn't look as if he'll be able to knock him out. Fourie, in fact, is fighting back gamely, doing everything he can. Foster piling on the pressure, missing. Fourie is too fast for him. And there it is, the Hunter World Light Heavyweight Championship fight is over.
I remember asking Fourie how it was that Maurice Tauwiel, who did the radio broadcast of the first fight with Kim Shippey, had him winning when everyone else had Foster ahead. Fourie laughed. "You shouldn't have listened to Maurice," he said. "Maurice gave me 20 rounds out of 15. See you at the fight."